Personal Behavior Change Plan by Robin Hendry, HWE 200, Introduction to Health and Wellness, Instructor Deborah Lucas, April 8th of 2018. Outline. I chose physical wellness dimension to focus and improve on because even though I eat well and get some exercise, I need to adopt more healthful habits. Being a type 1 diabetic, I need to make time for exercise, have well planned out meals, and make sure I am keeping track of blood sugars and blood pressure numbers. I identified the 3 dimensions of wellness that I need to improve on. They are physical, stress, and social dimensions. The life factors I will be focusing on are eating well-balanced meals, having an exercise plan that I can stick to, and responsibility for my own basic health care. The textbook states about physical wellness. The physical component of wellness involves the ability to carry out daily tasks, develop cardiorespiratory and muscular fitness, maintain adequate nutrition and healthy body fat level. Also to avoid abusing alcohol and other drugs or using tobacco products. In general, physical health is an investment in positive lifestyle habits. Current behaviors versus ideal behaviors. Unplanned meals and eating without thought. I tend to grab something simple that takes little time to prepare. Even though it might be considered healthful, I eat in front of the computer or the TV, and before I know it, it's gone. I didn't enjoy it or even taste it or even realize I was eating it. And when I do this, I tend to want to snack after shortly finishing. Planning meals and eating with mindfulness. I want to plan out most of my meals and eat with mindfulness. My breakfasts are good. I only have a green smoothie, which I will drink while logging on for work. And that smoothie will keep me satisfied for 4 to 5 hours. Lunch and dinner are a completely different story. I tend to grab whatever there is, even though it's probably considered healthy, but I don't pay attention. My timing is off. I really need to eat around the same time every day. It's important because I do take insulin. I need to sit down at the table and eat with no interruptions or TV or reading to fully focus on the food. Setting meal times on a regular schedule will result in improved blood sugar levels throughout the day and over time improve the A1C values and insulin sensitivity. Considering exercise and not doing it. I buy many DVDs or see interesting classes being advertised, and I really have the intention of doing all of them, but actually I do very few. Focusing on a good, well-rounded exercise routine every day. I want to start with a simple exercise plan and build on it. Currently, I go out for an early morning walk and I try to get in 1 or 2 more walks a day. Some days it happens and some days it doesn't, but I need more than just that early morning walk. It starts my day off really great and then I falter. I want to include 1 or 2 core exercises, stretches, and a few arm curls twice a day for the next month to see if I can build that habit in 30 days. Not taking my blood or blood pressure. I take my blood glucose through my CGM, that's a continuous blood monitor, all the time, and my blood pressure now and then. But I rarely write down the results for myself or the doctor. Keeping a log of blood sugars and blood pressure numbers. Keeping a log is a great idea for myself, and when I see the doctor, he can check my progress from my insulin pump, but if the sugar is very high or extremely low, he always asks me what happened that day to cause it. I never know because I don't keep records, and I'm sure he's getting tired of that same response from me, and quite frankly, I am also. I saw him last week and thought, I'm tired of this, and I started writing down my numbers to bring them into my next doctor's appointment. And the same goes for the blood pressure results. The health risks and diseases associated with poor eating and inactivity is obesity, cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, osteoporosis, back pain, and it can contribute to anxiety and depression. I already have diabetes, but not due to the lack of physical wellness. I got it when I was 10. Since then, I've had a heart attack, So I am at high risk for more complications. Therefore, I need to have a good, healthy routine to keep me in line to avoid further problems, as in amputation, blindness, dialysis, heart attack, and stroke. The stages of change. They were developed in 1983, and there is a 6-stage model to help people understand the behavioral problems that they want to change. This can be applied to a variety of behaviors, populations, and settings. The 6 stages are pre-contemplation. This is listed as denial to a problem, or maybe not even realizing there is a problem. Contemplation is realizing that there may be a problem and thinking about change. Preparation. This is where there's a plan of action and it tends to get started. Action is where you actually start making the change. Maintenance. Working at your plan without relapse for several months and trying to prevent any relapses. Termination. This is where you are sure that you will not relapse back to your old ways. The stage I'm currently at is action. I've worked on this several times and maintained a decent exercise and meal planning level. I also would start writing down my readings, but I have lapsed several times. I am ready to take action and set my goal for 30 days to keep up with this. Decreasing health risks. The county I live in is almost at the bottom of the health statistics for the state. Several groups have banded together to try to make changes. They have several classes, events, cooking classes, and group get-togethers. They have adopted several MOIs. MOIs are social support groups. MOIs mean meeting for a common purpose in Japanese, and this originated from the social support groups in Okinawa, Japan. I have been to some of the classes in the past, but not on a regular basis. I know they have a walking group on Saturdays not far from my house, and I'm going to start going to those. That will help me to achieve my goals. The same with the cooking class. Being with like-minded people and finding recipes that may be simple and easy to follow will give me new ideas. There's also another group for diabetics that I plan on meeting with also. SMART is a goal-setting practice, and it stands for specific, means well-defined, measurable, goal-specific and measuring progress, attainable, objective must be within reach, relevant, realistic or reasonable, trackable, a defined period of time. My specific goals are simple: well-balanced meals, exercise, and keeping track of my blood sugars and blood pressure. Measurable will be attained by checking my weight, but more importantly, when the A1C is checked by the blood test my doctor orders. The numbers will show how well my levels are over a 3-month period of time. For a type 1 diabetic, the range should be between 8.5 and 6.5. My personal goal is 6.0. Attainable, eating well-balanced meals and exercise has another area for me to accomplish, which is to lose 5 to 10 pounds in 3 months. This is very attainable if I stick to a good meal plan. Writing my numbers down is really a matter of laziness on my part, so I just need to do it. I chose these goals because I just don't only want to live a longer life, but more so a healthier one. Social cognitive theory. This theory is that if people observe and see the rewards of consequences, they will remember the outcome. Meaning people do not learn new behaviors, they replicate the actions of others. This does have an influence on me when I see it in the media with good or bad outcomes. I am looking more at the good outcomes of it, and I will research things on my own if this is something that I want to take on. Theory of planned models. This started in the 1980s as theory of reasoned action, which consisted of the links between attitudes, behavioral intention, subjective norms, social norms, perceived power, and perceived behaviors. This theory was thought to predict a person's intention of an outcome and the benefits of the outcome. I personally think if you think you will fail, you will. and if you think you succeed, you will. I believe that I will succeed in this personal behavioral change. Health belief model. This is the belief about one person's problems, health problems, and the belief of the action one takes or doesn't take has a bearing on their health. This one I like the best because we need to take control over oneself and don't always count on others to get you through it. You need to realize how your bad habits and the effects down the line can be harmful and take serious action to prevent negative outcomes. This last one was discussed in an earlier slide, but it consists of pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, maintenance, and termination. All these I have attempted to do at one time or another and will continue to do so. Barriers and overcoming them. The greatest barrier actually is myself. I know what to do, I just don't do it. I do have issues when I go to social events. They usually have tempting appetizers. I can avoid being too tempted by telling myself before I go, I will not have anything that I don't feel is healthy. Also, I'll never go there hungry. I should probably eat a small meal before I go. I have noticed that if I don't eat well or drink enough water, I feel sluggish, and I don't like to exercise. If I remember this, it will keep me more on track to exercise, and also to join the walking Moai. And being accountable also will help motivate me. Trying to find the time is another issue, but I can get up a little earlier in the morning and fit in at least 10 extra minutes of strength exercise or stretching. I have no organization in record keeping. In the past, when I've tried to keep track of my readings, I usually just write it on a sheet of paper, and then that paper gets moved or thrown away, and there goes the records. So recently, I have bought a notebook, and I will keep it in the spot where I keep my blood machine and my high blood pressure machine. So everything is together, and it will be simpler to keep track of all of it. Motivation techniques. We are all creatures of habit, and it's difficult to change those habits. To change behaviors in a healthful way, we need to realize the value of the change and the health costs and believe that we are able to perform the change. My motivational techniques consist of going to our local 12-week total health improvement classes. I have been there before, and they provide you with so much information that I need to go several times to absorb it all. My mindfulness and meditation will also help me set my mind on a healthful path. The mindfulness techniques helps me to start my day in the morning, and the meditation prior to going to sleep. I have several CDs to lead me in guided meditation or self-hypnosis. Wellness philosophy. Make a mindful and conscious decision every day to bless your body with good food, exercise, and positive intentions. Good food leads to good health. Good health leads to enjoying life to its fullest. Enjoying life leads to longer, happier, and healthier times with what or who is important to you. References.